I'm James Lee Witt, and I'm here in Magnolia tonight and for a fish fry, and we're excited about all the folks coming out tonight. And I am running to make a difference. You know, this 4th Congressional District has 33 counties, and it's the highest unemployment rate in this district in the state, 9.4%. Some areas even 11%, and 10.5%. And it's a very high poverty rate in the 4th District, and I think we can do better than that, and that's why I'm running. I still believe that one voice and one person can make a difference, and I think together we will make a difference.
How do you propose lowering unemployment throughout the 4th District?
Well, I think there's several things that we can do, but one thing I've been working on with the superintendents of high schools, and I met with 30 of them in Arkadelphia, that we're having a lot of young people coming out of high school that's not going to college. And I think what we can do, working with the 2-year schools and VOTEC schools and high schools, and using federal workforce training dollars, prioritize those dollars to high poverty area, high unemployment areas. Then we can put career counselors in these high schools to counsel these young people to say, okay, if you want to get into a trade before you get out of school or after you get out, you could be a welder, you could be an electrician, you could go into refrigeration, nursing. There's a lot of trade jobs available that people are looking for, and then these people, I think, will become our young small business owners in the future. But we also have to protect our existing small businesses and also try to help them grow. And the economic development in the 4th District is a priority. I was in Prescott, and they lost 1,000 population because they had no low-income housing. I think we're working with HUD, working with the Small Business Administration, working with the Corps of Engineers and several other federal agencies, and bring them down here and say, here's the resources we have, here's the ability we have to train people, and try to get some corporate interest in it and try to change the dynamics of this so we can give at least hope and opportunity to our young people, but also create jobs.
I appreciate the bent toward vocational education, but doesn't that also send a message that we're lowering expectations among our young people?
Not at all. You're still going to have those kids that are going to go to college, but also I think one of the important things is that we have to protect the Pell Grants and not cut it, because that's your low-income, middle-income students going to college. And we definitely don't need to start charging interest rate to students while they're still in college on their student loan. And so I think there's many different ways that together we can work together on a regional basis or community by community if we have to. But it's not lowering expectations, because these kids that are not going to college, what are they going to do when they get out of high school?
The one thing we do have in South Arkansas in abundance are natural resources: oil, natural gas, lignite, bromine. Talk to me a little bit about what you see as the government's role in helping promote the use of these resources.
Well, I think it's going to be important that we continue to use the natural resources we have and try to get the production up as high as we can get, because if we can, the more resources we can make available to not only Arkansas and to our nation, the less importing of oil and other energy products. So I think it's going to be really important that we work with them and EPA, cut some of those regulations down to where we can manage it and not penalize our folks here in trying to do what's right and what's good.
A lot of people think the easiest and fastest thing that can happen to stimulate the South Arkansas economy is an upswing in the housing market. If we can sell more lumber, of course, everybody in this part of the world benefits. What do you see as a member of the House that you could do to stimulate the housing construction market in the United States?
Well, of course, you know the market's been in a slump since 2008 because of the mortgage issues. I think it's starting to come back, but I think also getting I-49 finished would be a huge asset economically for us, because we can then transport and bring in as well. And that 250-mile stretch is $2.5 billion and takes 10 years to get it done. but we got to get the funding for that, NI-69, and I think that's going to help our timber industry as well. I was down at the paper plant, and they told me that they have 501 loads of logs coming in every day. Every day.
Yeah.
And so that transportation is really, really critical to be able to bring those loads in. But I think also getting I-49 opened up is really going to help southern Arkansas and western Arkansas in economic development. It's going to create jobs, and it's going to create some opportunities there. Well, of course, you know, Mike, I was the county judge for 10 years. I started my first company when I was 21, construction company, residential and commercial. Ran it for 12 years and elected county judge 6 times. Then director of Office of Emergency Service in Arkansas, and then director of FEMA for 8 years, a member of Bill Clinton's cabinet. And, you know, the last 4 years we were there, we were able to balance the budget and have a surplus when we left. And that was by cutting regulations, cutting red tape. But, you know, I also reported to 26 congressional committees on the Hill. So, and then I started another company that I grew into a worldwide company, 350 full-time employees. And so I think my business background, and also as well as my local government, state government, and federal government, has a huge advantage in knowing the inside of not only the Capitol and Congress, but also federal agencies. I think it's a big plus. And also the time I was there, in which I will do when I'm elected to Congress, I don't care if it's a Republican idea or independent or Democrat. If it's a good idea, I'll be for it if it's going to help the 4th District in our country. So I think that's a big difference in us.
Thank you.